Always good to see the sheriff here. It always makes things more official. Would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning, Sheriff? Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody, and it's good to be back to work.
It is.
Welcome to the February 6, 2014 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Bob Archer. I currently serve as chair of the commission, and it's my privilege to serve with Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2, and Commissioner Shelley Bueller, who represents District 1. Good morning.
Good morning.
First item, please.
First item, proclamations, presentations. Number 1, presentation of Deb Flint Memorial Walk Run donation to the Shawnee County Parks and Recreation Foundation, Friends of the Ted Ensley Gardens Endowment Fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. I'd like to have a brief presentation this morning. This past summer, we held the 3rd annual Deb Flint Memorial Walk at Lake Shawnee. The Shawnee County Parks and Recreation Foundation, specifically the Friends of the Ted Ensley Gardens, has worked with this group. Actually, this group came to that group and wanted to share some of the proceeds from this event with the Shawnee County Parks and Rec Foundation. With that being said, I'd like to invite Andy Flint to come on up, and he can bring the rest of his entourage with him. While they're coming up here, I would like to point out that Rosa Cavazos with the Shawnee County Parks and Recreation Foundation, representing them, is here as well today. That being said, I'll turn this over to Andy and the family.
Okay. This is my daughter, Alex.
We're just really honored for this to be our 3rd annual walk. It's been so successful the last 3 years, and we're looking forward to doing it again this year. It's always held the last Saturday in June, which coincides with my mom's birthday, which is on the 30th, so closest we can get on a Saturday. The Ted Ensley Gardens were her favorite place to be. Her memorial bench is there, so it was very fitting for us to have some of the proceeds go to that. All I've got.
We didn't step on up here. I think you probably want to give the check to those people, but.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Next item, please.
Item 3, consent agenda.
I would move for approval.
Are there questions or comments?
I do not have any. I'd move for approval of the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve the consent agenda by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk. Number 1, there are no voucher payments today. Number 2, consider correction orders.
Are there questions or comments?
Move approval. We have a few of them, correct?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Bueller to approve the correction orders, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B, emergency management. Number 1, consider approval of request to apply for hazardous materials emergency preparedness grants for 2015.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dustin Nichols, Emergency Management. What we have here is just request permission to put in for this grant. We put in for it the past few years. It goes directly towards our LEPC planning, local emergency planning committee planning, and preparation for hazmat materials incidents and accidents within the community.
Questions or comments?
I would have no questions. I would move for approval of the grant application.
I'll second, and in light of what happened the last couple of days with the fuel
Yes,
spill
ma'am.
and all that, that's the reason we have these types of opportunities in practice. So, yes, I'll second.
Good. Motion made by Commissioner Cook to approve the application and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Dusty. And we'll be giving more thanks, I'm sure, during the rest of the meeting. Next item, please.
Item C, Health Agency. Number 1, consider approval of request to fill 2 Office Assistant 2 positions in the Shawnee County Health Agency Community Health Center and any subsequent positions that become vacant as a result of filling these positions at a salary for each position, including benefits, of $32,265.35.
Good morning, Commissioners. Alice Weingartner, Shawnee County Health Agency. This request before you is to fill positions that cover our front desk. So those folks that come in, who come in and they follow the check-in, they check income, all of those types of things. And so these are very vital positions, particularly for the customer service aspect. And so I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
I'll make a motion to approve since we are in the customer service business.
we
and
are.
I appreciate that. Can I get a second?
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Item D, Audit Finance. Number 1, consider approval of request to solicit bids for pest control services for all Shawnee County facilities.
Good morning. Betty Greiner, Financial Administrator. I am seeking your permission to go out and solicit bids for the pest control services for the entire county. As I do not believe that we have gone out for bid for the entire county for this service before. My office has been working with the county clerk's office at trying to identify items that we might be able to try to use our volume to get a better price. This is the first of hopefully many that we will be looking at to do this. Michelle has been working with the different departments to find out exactly what all facilities, need pest control services. So Michelle or I will be happy to answer any questions you have.
Very good.
Questions or comments?
I just really appreciate that you have this ability to look over and see that global view and really looking at where we can maybe maximize our efforts. And so I appreciate the conscientiousness of your department and working with Michelle and everything that she does. And so I'd move for approval of the bid process.
And I'd like to second that and also say it seems like we're taking a lot of things that were hit or miss in the past, and we're making a systematic approach to those, and I appreciate the effort. Motion.
Mr. Chairman,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Comment before we vote. I know we did do this somewhat when the Parks and Recreation, we merged those services with the city, and when we did those community centers and that sort of thing, we did this somewhat. So this is taking it to that
To the next
level.
To that next level,
It
yes,
is.
countywide.
Exactly.
Thank you, Commissioner, for that clarification. Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item E, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-63-2014 with East Topeka Council on Aging, Inc. for lease of space at Rice Community Center on a month-to-month basis.
Commissioner John Knight, Parks and Recreation. The existing contract with the East Topeka Senior Center that operates out of our Rice Community Center expired at the end of the year. We've been looking at them, also studying whether the future of the Rice Community Center, all of those things taken into consideration. What I'd like to do is to extend this lease to relieve some stress and pressure off of that group who's every time they see a blue pickup drive into the parking lot are afraid that that's us coming to evict them. This gives them a little bit of safe operational, a little bit of relaxation while we work for a long-term solution or a home for them, or or until we come up with a complete decision regarding the Rice Community Center. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
I have no question.
Is there anyone here from East Topeka? John?
I did not see anybody.
Okay, all right. No. Move approval.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Bueller to approve and seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Those say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item E2, consider approval of request to solicit bids and/or proposals for the purchase of supplies necessary for the operation of seasonal programs and facilities with an estimated expenditure of approximately $350,000.
Not that I don't like to come down here, but what I've tried to do is lump several requests all together. We know we're going to come down for all of these different items for permission to solicit bids, so I'm coming down to ask for all of them. All of them will be back before you to award bids, award contracts, all of those type of things individually. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Commissioner?
I have no questions.
I have none. Move approval.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item E3, presentation by Parks and Recreation staff highlighting some of the methods and programs that Parks and Recreation staff utilize to eliminate unacceptable behavior in youth sports programs.
Commissioners, this item, just as a little background, when Brian was hired many years ago, one of the first things I told him was, I don't care what's in your job description, your number one job is to make sure I look good. He remembered that and is now up here making sure that the PowerPoint works for me. This is a, well, nice try.
More touchy than mine.
Commissioners, there's from the outside, you may view the athletics, the sports division, those type of things, putting teams together, making sure each team has 10 people on it, make sure everybody plays the same amount of game. That's a small, small portion of what we do in our athletics division. We have tens of thousands of kids, tens of thousands of parents that go through our programs, offer numerous jobs to be working with those kids. All of the adults that come in or work in that facility or have impact on those kids are have an effect on the program. A lot of what our athletic staff do is work with those groups. And with that, I wanted to have them provide you a brief presentation and also show a brief video to show you, kind of give you an overview of what they're up against. Brian?
The opportunity today to rip their freaking head off and let them bleed. If I cut them with a knife, they're gonna bleed red just like you. You go out there like junior Broncos, you play junior Bronco football, and you can do it. If you believe in yourself, you can do whatever it is you want to do in life. Do it now, though. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Do it now.
This is the Texas Youth Football Association, one of the elite football leagues for kids in America. And the 8- and 9-year-old rookie division in San Antonio features the best of the best.
Give me that soft crap. There should be no reason why y'all don't make other teams cry. I could care less if they cry.
The teams are ultra competitive, demanding commitment.
This is where you earn your play time.
Sacrifice, and intensity.
You can do this. You're stronger than this. It's hard.
5 teams.
We come out screaming and yelling.
5 heated rivals.
Oh, we gotta fight! We gotta fight!
Only one can win.
You're so worried about winning that you're not playing.
I don't care how much pain you're in. You don't quit.
You guys forget that they are babies.
If that kid comes across, I want you to put it in his helmet. You understand? I don't care if you don't get up. Let's go.
Friday Night Tykes premieres January 14th at 9 on the new Esquire Network.
If I could figure out how to run the big screen here. That way we won't get anything else on. Commissioners Brian Toby, Shawnee County Parks and Rec, obviously. I would like to take a minute to introduce my staff. Darren Tolan, Nancy Sharples, and Kevin Stoner. Darren actually has some handouts for you that he'll be handing out as we get into this. I don't want to take too much time. What he's going to show you is just a brief explanation of our sportsmanship emphasis. It basically sets the standard for all of our sports environments around the county that we're able to kind of maintain and put our own twist on. It's all encompassing, it includes rules, guidelines, our goals, obviously, and kind of lays out the, I guess, it lays out the format of what we would like a person to do or not do, whether they're a fan, participant, grandma, grandpa, anything like that. So, and then we get more in depth as trying to combat things like the video. People think that probably doesn't happen in Topeka. It does. Happens all over regardless. It doesn't happen as much in our programs the last 3 or 4 years. We've been doing this since 2008. Not to the degree that is before you. We started that a couple of years ago, the sportsmanship emphasis. And we've been working with the local umpire pool, Topeka Premier umpires that we go through. They have to go through training and backgrounds and that kind of stuff. A big aspect of all of this is screening. And when people think of screening, they just think we're doing a simple background check and moving on. But we're not. Screening's basically we're creating the environment that we want everybody to where the kids foster the best, fosters good environment for the kids versus what you saw in the video. Obviously, it helps us keep those kind of individuals out of our program. We have had to combat some of that. You know, we'll go up to them, we'll talk to them, we'll have meetings afterwards. We've kicked people out, unfortunately, and you know they kind of understand once we do it that that's the kind of environment we're creating. We've even taken it to the next step as to where like tournament rentals that come in. A few weeks ago, you guys had the Midwest Sports Production contract before you, and they've agreed to work with us on this kind of stuff. So if they have coaches that are belligerent or whatever, or fans, then we're allowed to kick them out and keep them out of the complexes as well. And you know, we're not doing it to be the almighty police or anything like that. We just want to create basically a great environment for the kids. It's got to be quality and it's got to be positive for the kids, because something like, if you use a NAE standard, it's something like 70% quit by the time they're 13. And that's actually where you need the kids in school or doing extracurricular activities, whether it's intramurals or anything, just shooting hoops after school or something out of trouble. So that's kind of what we're working on. We do appreciate, John's been nice enough to send us to the NAES, which is the National Alliance of Youth Sports. So 3 of us are now certified in that. And along that goes standards and, you know, that kind of stuff. So we get the resources to combat bullying and that kind of thing. So I'll open it up if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, I appreciate you letting us present a little bit this morning.
Good information. Very good information. Good reminders to everybody.
I appreciate everything that you do and how you foster the development of our youth in a positive way instead of a negative way. And so continue to do the good work.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Very well said. Thanks again. Next item, please.
Item F, Public Works. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C 64-2014 with Terracon Consultants, Inc. for methane monitoring and to conduct a wetland delineation on the site of the abandoned Shawnee County landfill located at Southwest 21st and Hodges Road in the amount of approximately $6,080 with optional groundwater monitoring services at a cost of $7,400 per sampling event.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Block with Public Works and Solid Waste. Before I begin on this item, if you look at the cover memo, there was a fee amount left out in the wetland delineation and report line item. That there should be a number of $5,030 in that, and I apologize for that. So that would increase that number from $6,080 up to $11,110 in what Ms. Beck just read. But anyway, this item, the county used to run and operate its own landfill, which is located out near Southwest 21st Street in Hodges, and that has been abandoned for decades now. And over that time, some of the ground out there has experienced some deterioration, I guess, erosion, and we've been notified, several years ago, the county had been notified that we need to mitigate the issues that are out there. And one of those, or several of the things are like bringing in some soil to cover up some exposed, or where some erosion has occurred, monitoring methane gases that are out there and sampling the groundwater in that area. So a few years back, we've got the county solid waste had contracted with Terracon Consultants, who does this environmental type of consulting work. And we've been working with them the last few years. The next step is to conduct what's called a wetland delineation process, so that when we come in and do the mitigation work, we're not disturbing any wetlands. And for us to do the work that we ultimately need to do, the wetland delineation needs to be conducted, as well as continuing to monitor the methane gases in the area, and also potential groundwater sampling. So that is what the contract is about. It is something that we really essentially have to do. And the funding from this would come from the solid waste department, and we have budgeted funds for this work by Terracon. So if there's any questions regarding this, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. On a long-term basis, what's the impact going to be, Tom?
In discussions with Terracon, when I'd first come on with the solid waste department, we said, what are we looking at as a potential cost for the mitigation? They had told us that they anticipated about $3 million per year for 3 years. However, those costs, I believe, in their estimates, were to hire all the mediation work to be done. I believe, and this is what our intent is to have essentially allow the public works staff to do it during off times. So we've been working with Terracon and KDHE to phase our work so we can utilize public works staff to do a significant amount of the work during our off-peak times during the year. So far, we believe that they are agreeable to that, and by doing so, I think we will reduce that $3 million by a significant amount.
Very smart. Any other questions or comments?
I move approval of the contract with Terracon.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item F2, consider approval of emergency and sole source purchases for repair of a snow removal truck at a cost of $1,931.56, trash lids to fit existing containers at a cost of $8,300, and a replacement engine for a tractor at a cost of $9,650.
Commissioners, this first item is the public works truck, and this is only for parts only. We will be doing all the work with our own staff, and since the parts the total amount was more than $1,500, and we had to get the parts immediately so we could fix it. That is why it's before you. So again, it would be only for the parts that we needed to repair the truck. The second item is solid waste, and this is a similar request to what we've done in the past. When we started the curbside recycling program, we ordered 45,000 carts, and we had a few thousand excess, and we've been utilizing those for replacements of any recycling carts that get damaged, but we've also had them set up so that they are interchangeable with our refuse carts simply by changing out the lids. The only difference between our refuse carts and our recycling carts, our refuse carts have black lids and our recycling carts have blue lids. We are at a point where we need more refuse carts, so this request here is just to order lids, black lids, so we can interchange them out with the recycling lids. These run about $10 a piece as opposed to purchasing a new cart, which have run about $45 each. Although I will say the time is coming here very soon that I will be coming before the commission to actually order or go out for bids for new carts. And the third one is a public works item, we have a tractor that its engine is essentially failing. And we've looked at the condition of the tractor, and it's our opinion that the tractor is worth saving. So we are wanting to basically purchase a new engine. Again, this request on this one would be for parts only, where our mechanics would install the engine in-house. But in lieu of requesting to replace the tractor, which would run, we estimate around $95,000, we are recommending we just purchase the engine, install ourselves at the cost of $9,650. This item and the first item would be paid from Public Works funds, and the second item, the lids, would be paid from the solid waste funds. So if there's any questions regarding any three of these, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Questions for Tom?
No questions?
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Yes.
Tom, again, I want to thank you for everything conscientious, looking at what do we need to do, where can it be replaced, can it be salvaged, is there other alternatives, and what alternatives do we have? And so just want to appreciate how much work you do put into this, and so.
Well, I appreciate the comments, but I'll be honest, that's what your expectations should be.
So it sounded like a motion to approve.
It does, it is. I move to approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item F3, consider approval of a project budget for replacement of the Southwest 77th Street Bridge over Middle Branch of the Wakarusa River in calendar year 2015 in an estimated amount of $609,300.
Commissioners, again, this request is again approval for a project budget for this bridge, which is located near 77th and Southwest Docking Road. As mentioned, the project budget is $609,300, and the funding for this would come from sales tax program. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Questions or comments? Commissioner?
It's just, the original bridge was constructed in 1948, so we got our money's worth out of that one. I wonder what that cost was then. New
No
cost
idea.
$640,000. Move approval.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Bueller and seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item F4, consider approval of a project budget for replacement of the Southwest Glick Road Bridge over Wakarusa River in calendar year 2015 in an estimated amount of $640,000.
Commissioners, this is a similar request where we're just requesting the project budget be approved. This bridge is located a half-mile south of Southwest 89th Street on Glick Road. The total budget is $640,000, and this too would be funded by the sales tax program.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item F5, consider approval of a project budget for replacement of the Southwest Urish Road Bridge over a tributary to the Kansas River in calendar year 2015 in an estimated amount of $557,950.
Commissioners, again, this third request is similar, and that is just request to approve the project budget. This particular bridge is located just about a third of a mile north of Southwest 10th Street on Urish Road. And again, the budget is $557,950, and the funding too would come from the sales tax program. If there's any questions regarding this one, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
I have none. Move approval.
I'll second, and Tom, I would note, all three of these bridges come from the half-cent sales tax, and so when we talk about the upcoming discussion of its renewal, these are the benefits that we receive from that half-cent sales tax.
Yes.
So I would gladly second the motion.
Yes, and I would like to say, without this sales tax program, all these bridges that have come forth for the commission, I honestly don't know where the funding would have come from if not for the sales tax program. So, the commission, would have to be making decisions on an individual by individual basis. And if the time came where we were having to make decisions like that, there may be places where, I'll be honest with you, if we didn't have the funding, they would eventually just have to be closed. So this sales tax program, in my opinion, has been a wonderful thing for the residents of this county.
Commissioner.
Well, and they take people back to their homes, but more importantly, they bring people in to this community for commerce. And so those bridges throughout the county are very important for not only the local economy, but the ag economy and all sorts of things. So
And it's interesting, I was at a conference here, within the last year, where a professor, the dean of the civil engineering from KU, they did a study on the cost of detours. And it's amazing how short of a detour needs to be before it becomes cost effective to replace a bridge, just from an economic standpoint. So it was pretty eye-opening to me.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you, Tom. Motion to approve made by Commissioner Bueller and seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Thank you.
Item 5, administrative communications.
Administrative communications.
While I'm here, I do have one thing. Tom
Oh.
Block with Public Works and Solid Waste. On the solid waste side, Tuesday, we were able to collect our Tuesday customers, even though the county had closed down. Our staff had come in, and I really appreciate them going out and doing what they could, and we were actually able to accomplish. Fortunately, the storm seemed like on a 6-hour delay, so we were able to complete our collection for Tuesday. However, Wednesday, with the county and everywhere being closed, we suspended, or we did not even attempt to collect our Wednesday customers. So what we are doing with our Wednesday customers, we asked them to, if they didn't bring their card out yesterday, which a lot of them may not have, to go ahead and stick it on their curb. We will collect today our Thursday customers and Friday customers tomorrow, but we will try to access every location to get our Wednesday customers. We just can't guarantee, because there are some residential streets that make it are very difficult for the trucks to get down. But we're going to make every attempt we can. I just can't promise that we will be able to. And if we can't, we apologize. It's just one of those situations, and hopefully they will be understanding. So, I think that's enough. Thank you.
hopefully we don't get more snow.
Really.
That would be nice.
Dusty Nichols, Emergency Management again. We just wanted to say thank you to the media, our partners, the City of Topeka, City Emergency Management, Gene McGreen, and all the public safety agencies and entities, KDOT included, KDM, everybody who provided us information so we could get it out. And it worked really well this time, and we just wanted to say thank you, and let's keep improving the information flow. So.
Exactly. Thank you, Dusty.
Brian Cole, Department of Corrections. In working with the department in the field of corrections, obviously we're a 24/7 agency, and the last 2 days, to us, our staff are our biggest asset at the department, and getting staff to work and being able to be there. I have to say, I could shake the hands of Tom and those in emergency management, but they did an outstanding job of giving us information that I could pass on to staff to make sure that they could plan ahead. We had I don't know that we had any. I think we did have 1 or 2, but staff that couldn't get here because of the weather. And that was tremendous, because we had to start putting in action plans of worrying about staffing, and we didn't have to. It was there ready to go, but our staff, our success was the staff, and we were successful because of what the other departments were able to do for us. So I just had to come up and say thank you to those, and Tom and emergency management to their getting the roads done, giving us the information. So they deserve a very big thank you. So I just wanted to say that.
Totally
totally different note, summer Parks and Rec positions are open right now. And if you're interested, please apply early for those positions. I know they do fill very quickly, but they are open right now. You can apply at, on our website, snco.us.
Thank you, John. Are there other administrative communications?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Cook?
Moments ago, I commended Mr. Vlock on his conscientiousness, and he said, this is what you come to expect, and this is what I expect. But the storm response, I really think, maybe that is what we come to expect in Shawnee County, is that sort of response. But I think it goes without saying that we should commend our employees, from Public Works, clearing the roads, from the emergency management, keeping us informed and keeping us safe, from the Department of Corrections and their abilities to get here and man the staffing, but also the Parks and Recreation, clearing the trails in the parks. I received a couple of emails commending the parks for their work. The trails we think of as a recreational component, but it's also a transportation component. And so that is how some people do get to and from work, and so I know that the parks people also, and it's just a whole county effort, and it really should be commended on how we respond to this storm. Thank you to everything you do. You make us look good.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Just add the sheriff's office and dispatch and everybody. You know, I kept very informed through all the department heads and through emergency management. There wasn't a gap in information, in my opinion, and I know that other commissioners were kept in the loop as well. So I think we kept ahead of things and anticipated things, and I think everybody did a really great job. So thank you.
I couldn't agree more, and I think what we're talking about is teamwork, and that's how we do business in Shawnee County, and I appreciate it. A couple of items that I had from Jane. She asked me to remind all department heads that we need items for next Monday's agenda immediately. So please keep that in mind. Jane continues to teach me how to be a chair of the commission, so I don't want to make her mad. I'd like to thank staff, and I'd also like to thank the city manager and city staff for doing their part and working together with the county, and I'd like to recognize the city manager and his staff. Finally, I read the horoscope every morning so I'll know how to plan my day. And this morning it says, participate in something in order to make interesting connections. Trips will prove eye-opening and adventurous. Friends will help bring greater clarity to a situation that you've been questioning. I thought that was very appropriate for today, so thought I'd share. Next item, please.
Item 6, executive session.
Is there a need?
No, can I add one more item? I know that emergency management does an after-action report. So while I know we are not perfect, if there are those who have concerns about how things were handled, that will be revealed in that report. So it's always important to evaluate.
Sure, good point. All right, if there's nothing else, we are adjourned. John.